Welcome to the premiere of the Nightmare Hour. Yes, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You know, how did we get all these people, the studio audience in our house? And that's.
I don't know. It's magic.
Are we gonna feed these people afterwards? That's through the wonders of modern technology. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nightmare Hour. I am your host, the Nightmareman, and with me along this magical journey through Never Never Land is my co-host, the one and only Princess Diva of the Dead.
Hello, all.
Isn't she wonderful? She's just a barrel of monkeys there. I am so excited to have our very own show. Happy Halloween before I start, I have to wish everybody.
Yes, you have to have a happy
I have to wish
Halloween.
everybody a happy Halloween. I hope your October went well. Ours was a little bit rocky. We had some problems with surgery and this and that and the trail being down a few days on a trail. Jeez, but nevertheless, the Nightmareman and Diva mustered through as always, and here we are back in it. Ta-da! I think our first show, I'd just like to touch base on a few things in the beginning, and just to tell you who we are, what we are, and what to expect out of us. Pure madness, of course. We're always nuts.
Well, yeah.
But we hope to bring you the quality entertainment that you, the listeners, plan to love. And now a word from our sponsors. But now we're just going to be laid back, man, and we're going to be just who we are and what we love to do, and we hope to bring you laughter and tears and joy and all this other stuff. And I hope to hell tears of laughter.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't want any tears.
I'm not going to tell any sad stories. Like, God damn it, I was going to tune into the Nightmare Hour. I was going to get happy, and all they're doing is telling a bunch of boring stories. It'll make me cry.
You almost sounded like Shag.
I'm like, wow, man. See, that's the kind of stuff you guys are going to hear. You know, every once in a while, the voices in my head will come out, and hopefully I won't forget exactly who I am originally, and the other voices to take over.
Who are you?
I don't know who I am. I think I'm Frank. I don't know. I'll have to check last week. But, yeah, that's basically what you're going to get. We're going to have fun, and we're going to have informative topics. Diva will probably end up giving you a movie review for movies that we have watched. And as a matter of fact, Paranormal 3
Yes.
we watched. I think we'll have Diva talk about that a little bit later. And interviews. We got people, man, lined up in the ballpark. We got people.
Do.
Let me throw you some names out there. Kitty Zombie, Chicago's favorite zombie. We're gonna try to get him on the show.
Jeff Wickedbeard.
Jeff Wickedbeard, the king of costumes. I'm sure everybody is familiar with him. We got a lot of people. We're going to see if we can touch base with Mark Patton, Jesse from A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. And then yeah, we got people, you know. That's we want to get in touch with the people and talk with them and tell them how, you know, tell everybody how things are going, and yeah, we are people friendly, and we like to get
Once in a while I get a little hungry, though.
Yeah, but that's why I have to watch my body parts so you don't tend to nibble a little bit.
I thought you didn't mind that.
Huh? Oh my God.
I know that I got you mad once in a while.
And it's about like Homer Simpson dealing with Bart around here with with our diva.
That's not even right. OMG.
Yeah, it's like I consider ourselves the Lucy and Ricky of the horror scene.
Well, at least you only have me and my regular me to deal with. Me, I've got 1,000 of you.
1,000 of
And
me.
I never know which one I'm going to get.
Well, it's not like I'm a psychotic person or anything like that. I mean,
I do prefer the King of the Hill version of you.
I know when to come down and to focus on my human form. So
You do?
sometimes maybe I don't know, but yeah. I think what we're going to do now is talk about exactly who we are. A lot of people do not know this. Our real names. And I forgot it. I think it's Frank. No. The Nightmareman, a.k.a. William Adams, and Princess Diva of the Dead, a.k.a. Barbara Sloan. We are character entertainers. Of course, I do Freddy Krueger, and my new character that I created, the Nightmareman. We attend conventions and stuff like that. Barbara, of course, is our very own Princess Diva of the Dead, Northwest Ohio's favorite sexiest zombie.
But the best part about me being a zombie, I'm not the rotted, icky zombie. I'm the fresh, bloody, gory zombie.
Yes, you do. And yes, when I walk into our bathroom and she's sitting there putting her makeup on, it's fantastic. Real quick, I can remember the first experimental thing she did with a photo shoot. I'm sitting at my computer waiting to take, I think it was like a second promotional photo shoot. But anyhow, I think it was for New Year's Eve.
Yes, it was my New Year's album.
Yes, it was a New Year's Eve album that she had created, and I'm sitting at the computer waiting. And she walks into the room and she says, "What do you think?" And I turn to the left and I'm staring at what is to be considered an atrocity of pure hell and evilness, as half of her face is gory and bloody and gooey. And I was just flabbergasted. And I'm focused on her trying to find my cell phone to take a picture. And it was wow. It was something.
You didn't even look away. You just reached over and grabbed her.
Because I was in awe, man. Because you just like, yeah. And but yeah, go to Facebook, Princess Diva Dead, and check out her pictures. That picture, among many others that you can find.
Norman Reedus seemed to have loved my makeup job. That was the same as the New Year's.
That is right. We had met Norman Reedus at Horror Hound Cincinnati. Or was it Indianapolis? Oh, it was Indianapolis. Okay, we've done so many of them, and I can't tell my Cincinnati from my Indianapolis. Or I asked from a hole in the ground for that matter. But yeah, well, speaking of conventions, we do conventions. We attend Horror Hound conventions, and we have just recently, this year, I'm sorry, attended the premiere of Days of the Dead, which was a very big hit. We really enjoyed that one.
I think we got a tally of about 6 hours of sleep on the 4-day weekend that we took.
Oh my God! Actually, yes.
We had so much fun.
It's going to keep getting better. We got more conventions that we're going to attend. Horror Hound November is coming up. I'm really excited to meet John Saxon. He's going to be there. There are some casts from The Walking Dead, right up Diva's alley, are going to be there. So, yeah, in November at Horror Hound in Cincinnati, if you want to check out the Nightmareman and Diva Dead, we will be roaming the halls, and that will bring the new Nightmare costume.
And that's only in 2 weekends.
Yeah, that's in 2 weekends. So, kids, get your tickets and check your stuff out, man, and check us out. I'll be bringing the new Nightmare costume to the very first convention, so everybody will get a chance to see him.
One of these days, you need to take the bat.
We want to go to a Comic-Con. That's why I want to go to a Comic-Con.
Days of the Dead, there was a Joker and a Harley Quinn.
I know.
But they're bad guys. So
my God, you know how hot that costume gets?
Yes, I do.
Oh, my God.
In more ways than one.
We sweat my dingle balls off. But anyways, speaking of conventions, it really started for us in 2010, didn't it?
No.
2009.
The end of 2009, I ran across a website that actually was for Horror Hound in March, and I showed you the website. Actually, I showed you the website after I had already pre-ordered the tickets and didn't tell you. And you were excited because who was going to be there? Who was the favorite one that was going to be there for you that time?
That, my Theodore, was the
one and only
pinnacle of all weekends. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I'm like a big fan of Elvira. Not just because that she dresses so heavenly that makes my tongue wag, but she's also a wonderful actress and horror host. I mean, she's
easy
got it
on
going.
the eyes too, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Diva surprised me with these tickets. I mean, she found the web.
I told you that we couldn't afford them.
I know. I thought we couldn't afford the tickets, and it's like, every day I would stare at this advertisement for it, and it's like, damn, I wish we could go, and and Diva made it happen. She surprised me with the ticket, and it's like, oh man, it's like she. So we owe it all to that moment when you got those
March
tickets.
2010, it
spiraled into something fantastic.
Walked into Horror Hound Indianapolis and fell in love with the convention scene.
And was mobbed.
Yes.
By people taking our pictures.
You walked in as who?
Freddy Krueger.
That's right.
It was the first time that I wore the CFX mask, and we brought our buddy Big Dave Houts. He dressed up as Jason Voorhees.
Thanks
and
to Diva for that face too. Surprised you with
that
that
is
one
right.
too,
She brought me that mask, and I was just, oh my god. But yeah, it just started right there, and it's just spiraled into wonderful and fantastic things for us.
I started out as a sidekick.
Yeah, you did start out as a sidekick.
And
I tell you,
persona.
Well, now see, when the first convention, you was a zombie,
Yeah.
but you wasn't really known as you are known now.
I actually looked like a domestic violence.
Yeah, it looked like somebody beat the hell out of you, and that was my makeup job I gave you.
And then I tried it out.
Yeah, as everybody said, "Lee, your makeup." I said, "Who did it? Nightmareman." I said, "What, did he put makeup on you to beat the hell out of you?"
I know, it looked pretty bruised.
But that was nothing compared to what you started experimenting with.
I go hog wild.
And you just did something that turned the public on, and thus was born Diva of the Dead, and then Princess Diva of the Dead. You had a little princess there.
I turned it into my own little artistic ability.
Like your royalty and stuff. But yeah, you started off as a zombie, and the next conventions you wore a female Freddy outfit.
Yes.
And that's when we met Douglas Tate and all them. Yeah.
And how did I come up with my name?
You sent away from 2 box tops and Quaker Oats and got it.
I came up with my name because I wanted a zombie name, and I said I need a name, and a lot of my friends have always called me Diva because I like to look like the little princess and have all the fancy things on and the jewelry and dressing up, and so I said I wanted to use the name Diva, and what did you say?
I said you should have went with Horace Wintelton.
No, you didn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Horace Wintelton. But it stuck, man, and no sooner than you got Diva out there for the public to see, Facebook and whatnot.
January 5th, 2011, Diva of the Dead was created, and she's been an instant sensation.
The fans have went gaga for you.
I love it.
I mean, and yeah, thus Diva of the Dead was born, and you ain't going anywhere, man. You are here to stay. You are here.
I want to tell a tiny little story real quick.
Be my guest.
We were at Horror Hound Indianapolis this year in March 2011, and that's when I premiered Diva of the Dead. And I'm sitting there, and you were off into the restroom, and I was sitting on a chair. This was on Sunday, and I was awaiting you to get out of the restroom. And I see out of the corner of my left eye this tiny little girl, couldn't have been more than 4 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And she's pointing at me, "Look, Mommy, there she is, there she is." And she comes over to me with her tiny little voice, "Can I take a picture with you?" And that was the best moment ever.
You know, when we go to these conventions, we are bombarded with fans taking pictures, and we never turn anybody down. You know, people would look at us, and we have stood in one spot for damn near like a half an hour at one time taking pictures.
It's been longer than that.
And all the fans have been polite because they know they're waiting and stuff like that. And I tell you what,
and
fans, don't worry. Don't worry about it.
No problem.
We ain't going nowhere, man. That's fine.
We'll stand there all day if that's
we
what it
will,
takes.
and we do appreciate the welcome of the fans. You know, we're known out there. You know, we're somebody. You know,
See us at the conventions. Come over and stop and say hi.
Please do that. Yeah. And in the Days of the Dead convention, we're going to be getting a booth in Atlanta. Monsters Among Us will be premiering there, highlighting the character actors that attend the conventions.
Feel free to jump on either of our Facebooks and print a picture and bring it, and we'll autograph it.
Yeah, go on Facebook and go to our pages, print out a picture, take it there, we'll sign it, absolutely free. Don't worry about it. The whole thing's on me. But yeah, the conventions, man, that's what we do. That's how we roll. And this past Days of the Dead convention,
you read my mind. I was just in my mind.
Without so much as this zombie over here knowing what was going on.
Everybody but me knew what was going on.
Everybody knew it. Mark Patton knew it. My buddy Sean, Sean the Monster knew it. Adolfo Duarte from Days of the Dead knew it. Everybody knew it except for pretty little Diva. Huh?
Two of my favorite zombies was there. Melissa Cowan was there, and Russell Strainer was there, both to see.
Yes.
And what did you do?
What was to be, what she thought was to be was
a little speech about our convention.
Yes, the Nightmareman had some stage time to talk about
thanks to our good
past
friend Adolfo.
Our past convention experiences, and I'm up there talking to the crowd and everything, and then I bring Diva on stage, and what happened next really blew her mind because I proposed to my Diva.
You made a zombie cry and peel her face off in front of hundreds of people.
You can't cry with that goop over your eyeball, can you?
You can't. It just all puddles in there like a pool.
Puddles up in a pool.
Yes.
So, folks, I proposed to our Diva, and the same convention, the same area, the same month, next year, 2012, the wedding will take place.
July 7th, Indianapolis. Days of the Dead.
Where it all happened, man. Where it all happened. We will have the wedding of the century. The wedding that will be more popular than Prince Charles and Lady Di, I believe.
The theme title is A Zombie on Elm Street.
And we are very fortunate to have Mark Patton, once again, Jesse from A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. He will be escorting Diva down the aisle.
He's going to be the person giving me away.
Yeah, and we really do appreciate that, Mark. And Mark Patton is a wonderful guy.
It is such an awesome day.
Yes, it is. We have a lot of planning.
That's the day that you become Mr. Diva.
Look, man, stop. Okay, right now. Before I go any further into the show, our Diva over here thinks that once the rings are slipped on her fingers, that I become Mr. Diva. Sorry, wrong answer, kids.
When Uncle Fester got married? He became Mr. Debbie.
No, and then he worked his way out of that, getting away from that psycho woman.
You will never escape me, never.
When it comes right down to it, it's Mr. and Mrs. William Adams.
No,
so
it
it's
is
Mr.
not.
and Mrs. Nightmareman.
This is the new millennium.
Oh, the new millennium. Oh,
That's right.
Is that a new word you learned?
Times have changed.
Times have changed. Okay, Mrs. NMM, we'll get right on that. But anyways,
Mr. Diva.
Mr. Diva. I got you, Mr. Diva.
Oh,
I
yes,
got you,
do.
Mr. Diva, right there.
Hey.
But, yeah, kids, check out Days of the Dead Atlanta when we will be spotlighted in the Monsters Among Us. And July in Indianapolis when the wedding of the century takes place.
That's right. It's going to be full of zombies and Freds.
Full costume. The groomsmen will be wearing Freddy attire, and the bridesmaid will be something that crawled out of a cemetery.
And you, as Fred, no one has ever, but now they will see Fred in a tux.
In a tux. I have to get a tuxedo. And
That is the request.
yeah, and it's
Not
one of
just
those.
a suit.
It's one of those.
tux.
It's one of those tuxes like the Penguin wears from
Oh,
Batman.
yes, it has to have the tail.
Has the tails.
Yes.
We're getting married. Where's the Catwoman?
Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married.
But for now, we have Horror Hound Cincinnati to look forward to, and the premiere of our daughter Scary Mary will make her debut. She's excited, and your daughter Chelsea. This will
Who
be.
hasn't decided what she wants to do for costume.
Well, I'm sure she'll come around with something.
Yeah.
This will be their first convention, and they will be blown away. But you know where we're going at in this convention has a water park. Now, if you know these two kids,
They're like fish.
13 and 14, correct?
No, 14 and 15.
14 and 15. I'm sorry.
You don't know how old the kids
I don't know
are.
how old them damn kids are. I don't care.
You're getting old. You lost your memory.
I know it. And these girls take to water like fish, is like what Diva said. And I seriously doubt that we're really going to see much of them at the convention. Of course, you know, Diva and I will be parading around doing our thing and taking pictures and signing stuff. But the kids we're going to look around and the kids are going to be gone. And you know where they're going to be at.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be in that water park. It's Cocoa, what is it? Cocoa Key West, Cocoa Beach, or
Cocoa Keys or something.
Well,
I don't remember what the name
no,
of the water
Cocoa
park
Beach
is.
is where Major Nelson and Jeannie is. Cocoa Beach. Jeannie! I don't know what the hell that come up from.
You
But
are
see, I
sick.
told you, on this show, we go get nuts. I'm telling you. That's the way it is. That's how we roll.
You don't have to get nuts. You already there.
Cocoa Key West. I think it is.
Hell if I know.
I don't, well, it's there.
It's water park.
Go
Inside the hotel.
go to a Horror Hound website. It's there. But anyways, that water park is cool. You remember Kitty Zombie when he was in the
Oh, yes,
inner
I
tube?
do.
He decided he'd get in. There's a video on
There
YouTube of that thing. I'm on it, giving him a big hug.
Last year
He's
we
your buddy.
hung with Jonathan and Beck from Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, okay.
And Mr. Douglas Tate.
And that
Oh,
horrific
yes.
moment when Harvey Stevens tackled me in the
Wow.
lobby. I think when I walk into that lobby, I'm going to have flashbacks.
You should have.
I'm going to
flashbacks.
be huddled somewhere like I don't want to be here.
And he jumps up and he says, "Damien wins."
Oh my! That was something out of left field. Check that out on YouTube. What is the thing that you go to on YouTube?
Freddy versus Damien.
Freddy versus Damien. It was supposed to have been some type of a little play acting thing, but Harvey.
Mr. Rugby playing.
Yeah, Harvey Stevens combined with moonshine that
Moonshine.
somebody gave him took it a little bit extreme, and next thing you know, my head is bouncing off the wall at the lobby. So.
You survived.
I survived. Hey, man, you can't keep a good monster down. You can keep killing me, and I will just come back and
You
part
are
two.
Fred.
I am Fred, man. You can't get rid of Fred.
I like your new creature.
Yes, the new creature will, like I said, the new creature will be premiering.
He is one badass demon.
The Nightmare.
And his claw. Oh, wow.
And thanks to Lester Blosser for pitch hitting for me this year at the Haunted Trail of Horror. Lester is a big Freddy Krueger fan. The guy has the same mask I do, the CFX mask, and he helped out doing Freddy Krueger for me. Saturday, October 29th was the official ending of the Haunted Trail of Horror for this season. And
we had another special guest at the Haunted Trail of Horror.
well, let's get on to this one first. Who was the special guest, though, by the way?
Stephanie.
Oh, our friend Stephanie. I still can't pronounce her name. DeCisco?
DeCisco or something.
DeCisco?
I'm not sure how to pronounce her
DeCisco.
last name. I've never asked.
One of our very special friends from the convention came for a visit, and she participated in an evening of scares.
And she makes special little hats that are just to die for.
And we will get her on the show during the course of the future, and she'll talk about her little business with her hats that she makes. She makes really neat little hats. I mean, you have to check it out. I think she's going to get a website soon, but
She's
we'll have all
supposed
that
to be
info.
making little hats for the wedding.
Oh, that is nice. But the last season, the last night of the season, Lester was Freddy, and I brought the Nightmare costume out and worked the trail.
It was his first
Crowd.
public appearance.
Yeah. Knowing that my arm is still a little sore, I decided to get into that costume and work the crowd, and it was a huge hit. I mean, we had a great time. That was the night that the Haunted Trail premiered Blackout.
It was so much fun.
We didn't quite make it up to 6 o'clock in the morning. Here's the schedule that went. It went like this. Our normal hours were from 8 to 12, midnight. And when the midnight hour came, we had 30 minutes to take a break, go to the bathroom, eat, do whatever.
Hang by the fire and warm up.
Yeah, warm up, because I tell you what, it was colder than
It-
all get out
Oh,
that
my
night.
goodness.
And so, you had your 30 minutes to chill, and then, literally, and then the lights go out on the whole trail, except for a few, just to help the crowd through the trail. But the lights went out, and
we popped right out of the
and
darkness.
it was
literally.
it was a free for all. But we didn't get a lot of people. We made it up to 3 o'clock in the morning, but the boss said, the people ain't coming, and he said
It was a last minute idea, though.
Well, it was a last minute idea. They will probably have it for next year, and maybe we'll get some more people. But
yeah, I believe with more advertising and with more of the public knows about it, we'll get some more.
yeah, but we made it till about 3 o'clock, and on the T-way, the boss says, "Shut her down," and we was just getting comfortable because I was not at a general area. Of course, I was walking around. I was a floater. So the remaining of the time, I went back to the mausoleum and hung out with the zombies back there. And they had a really nice fire. And I was all comfortable and everything and waiting for the next group. And he shuts it down. It's like, I don't want to leave. It's too cozy back here. and they was eating s'mores.
You know what would be a neat idea?
To have a s'more?
No, next year, the Haunted Trail of Horror would be a neat idea if they advertise like from midnight to 1 a.m. they would do a blackout for 1 hour each night of the trail.
It would be interesting.
And if people knew about it and get the public more used to
Right.
doing the blackout thing, and then the last night of the trail do the 6 a.m. thing.
It could
That could go over really well.
Yeah, give it like an hour or something like that, because actually you don't really know for sure if it was because it was a last minute thing and not a lot of publicity was out for it, or the fact is that people didn't want to get out because it was cold. I mean, it was extremely frost on the windows. You can see the frost glistening off the ground type weather.
We did have a couple of 2 sets of people who came for the blackout, made it through the haunted tunnel, and then turned around and went back the other way because they heard the screams going through
And that
attraction.
And that happened all through the season.
I know, but when blackout came around, they decided that when they got on the other side of that tunnel, which is only a 1 minute walk.
They didn't want
To
nothing.
hell with it.
They didn't want nothing to do with it.
These are some scary monsters.
But I was up at the tunnel, like working the crowd, and the crowd thinned out a little bit, and there was just a couple up there, a young couple, and they went through, and it was like no more than 3 minutes. They walked around the tunnel, and it's like, I thought they just left. But she was hyperventilating, the lady was.
She was?
Because she did not want to go. She just made it past the tunnel. It was like one monster in the tunnel. And, that greeted you and opened the curtain up so you could walk out of the spinning tunnel. But the lady was starting to hyperventilate. She did not want to go through.
That's like people with the fear and excitement at the same time of roller coasters. You stand in line, and your fear just gets a hold of you, and sometimes it's too much.
It is very much. And, that was during the course of the season. There had been people that paid their tickets standing in line, and then all of a sudden, no, I don't want to go. Well, you paid your ticket already. Go through it. But they just did not want to go through the trail, hearing all those screams back there, and so they decided to check it out.
Yep,
and that was it.
Speaking of screams, when they come into that mausoleum, they have no idea what they're getting into.
I had a chance. See, now, since I was a floater for that night, I had a chance to see all the rest of the trail. I never did get a chance to see all this stuff. And I had experienced the mausoleum scares, and I tell you what, y'all scream.
You need some earplugs
to the
when you go
25th
through
power. Yeah, you guys really, really do scream.
You got this bloody, gory thing popping out of nowhere, screaming in your face.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, the whole, not just your guys' area, but the whole trail was fantastic. And, I had a chance to walk through it, and all the scenes were great. I can't remember, I got it somewhere. I must have lost a card. What did I do with the card, Diva?
Card to what?
To the individuals that came out to the trail and rated us.
Oh, the haunt enthusiasts.
Haunt enthusiasts, yeah. I can't remember their website. I'm sure they got a Facebook page and everything like that. When they came out and they took pictures of the trail and put it on not the Facebook page, I'm sorry, but their website, I had noticed that the pictures that were taken out of the trail, one of them there was a giant spaceship and an alien there. And I was like, where the hell was that at? So I finally had a chance to walk back there and see that. And that spaceship can probably hold maybe, depending on, the size of the alien was about half my size. So I'm thinking probably it was a 4-man spaceship. That was big.
I don't know how big spacemen are.
Well, you didn't walk back here and see the little spaceman standing there?
Every time I went over there to see it, we got more customers. So a couple of nights before the trail ended, I decided that when the trail ended, I would walk that way because the lights were still on, and I would see it. But just like I could see the lights to the spaceship, and as I got closer, boom, the lights go out right before I got there. I never got to see it.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
E.T. home phone.
Beam me aboard. Energize. Energize.
But everybody, everybody had a wonderful scene. The gory dead baby coming out of the girl's stomach.
Oh, yes.
That scene was like, I couldn't have never came up with an idea like that, and I'm twisted myself. The scene was, she's surrounded by this cage, and there's dead body parts and baby dolls laying all over the thing, and a stroller's there, it's all bloody, and she's sitting in this chair, and she's pregnant, and her belly is out, and this baby which is all gory, and the baby's head is
Yeah.
split open and there's a brain in it. She's sitting there, and it's like, my God, the things we come up with.
I know, right?
You know? But like I said, I would have never came up with anything like that, man. It was weird and gross and mind-boggling, and it was an effective scene for out there at the trail.
Yeah.
It was gory to beat all hell, and it was effective, because I had hung back and followed the group that went through your mausoleum, and followed to the trail, and then came up on their scene, and I
Yeah.
watched the crowd's reaction, and they was just like, you know, excuse me, is that your jaw on the ground? It was freaky. I mean, it was badass. But kudos to everybody that participated and did a great job out there at the Haunted Trail. But like I said, you know, weather really kicked us in the butt.
Yeah, did not cooperate at
Yeah,
all.
we did not have a lot of nights that were open due to rain, and rain due to which led to the sloppiness of the ground and the parking areas. And
Swampland.
yeah, it really turned into a swampland. One big rain that we had, the boss lady showed me a picture of the next day, and the end of the trail was like a small pond.
Ugh.
You know, it would have been great for a Jaws theme. You know, stick the shark out there, but there would have been no place to walk around there to get out of it. But yeah, well, hopefully maybe next year it'll be different, and we won't get a lot of rain, and so that we can have a successful haunt
Yeah.
and everything. But you know, now here's a story.
Of a lovely lady.
Oh, God, how do I know you was gonna say that?
I
This.
can't help it. I was grown up on that.
Speaking of haunted attractions, and the date, which is October 31st, marks an anniversary, the day I put on my very first Freddy Krueger outfit and did my very first haunted attraction.
You did?
Yes. What we have to do is we have to travel back to 1993 in the town of in the town of Wapakoneta, Ohio. I was living with my dad at the time, helping him out. He sent me into town to pick up some supplies. His idea of supplies is going to town and pick me up some beer. And you know, I had no idea that this haunted attraction was going on, because I seldom traveled to Walpock. You know, it was like 9 miles, you know, each way. We usually go to St. Mary's and do our shopping, but I decided to go to Walpock. It was Halloween. I didn't have anything planned. You know, there was nothing going on. Nobody contacted me, so my Halloween that day was just open. There was nothing to do. I didn't know what to do.
Oh.
You know. Yeah, my date book was open. So I go into town, and I go through the carryout to pick Dad up his beer, and I was picking up some munchies and whatever. And when I drove out, I noticed to the right that there was this a huge house that sat right next to the drive-thru. And then I noticed out there there was a sign stuck out there that said JC's Haunted House. And it's like, And I seen people walking in and out carrying stuff, and it's like, I think I'm going to do a little investigation here. So I pull over to the parking area that they had, and I walked up to this lady, and I was asking her some questions. Say, hey, you guys got a haunted house here and everything? You open? And I said, yeah, this is the last night we're open. And we're going to be kind of short a couple of people.
Oh.
And I said, you know, I really enjoy Halloween and horror stuff. And I said, would you mind if you brought me on board for tonight? I said, I ain't got anything to do.
Oh.
She says, well, yeah, we can put you in a spot. It's just volunteer. I said, we can't pay anything. I said, don't worry about it. I said, you're just making my day. I said, it's the very first haunted attraction I ever would be in. I've always wanted to do one. And you guys are just going to give me the opportunity to have some fun tonight. She says, great. She says, well, come back at 7 o'clock tonight. This was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So,
Oh, okay.
you know, they're carrying stuff in and whatnot. She says, come back at 7 o'clock and we'll get you settled in. I said, great. So 7 o'clock came around. I pulled up in there and I found the lady again. And she says, great, you're here. I said, we'll walk you through the house and let you look at a few things. And your area will be upstairs in a maze. Now you got to think, this was a big ass house.
Was
I mean, this was like, you know, a mansion type house. And they had a lot of room for a lot of things. They even had one room that looked like a small forest area, complete with a bridge that you walked over.
Creative.
Just to show you how big this house was. They had a lot of space to do a lot of things. And she walked me through, and they had a kitchen there that Leatherface would have been proud of.
Oh.
I remember this house like it was yesterday. And she takes me up to the top of the house. It's upstairs, and they had gutted out the walls and stuff. There had to been like maybe 4 rooms up there at one time, and they gutted this out and made it into they put panels up and made it into a maze. And they said, what you're going to be doing is you're going to walk over here at times and scare, and there's a little secret door that you walk over here. So, like, you know, when the group sees you, and then you'll appear over here magically, you know, and like this. And I said, great. I said, I can handle that. She said, okay. Well, it says, there's a chair right there. Go ahead and have a seat and just wait here, and somebody will be along to let you know that we're getting ready to start. And your costume is right next to the chair. So if you want to go ahead and put it on now, you can, and just be patient and wait in a chair, and somebody will be along.
Let me guess, it was Fred.
No, it wasn't.
No?
No, it wasn't. This costume was somewhat of a disappointment. It was a garbage bag, and I pulled out what's the black robe, and so I thought, you know, okay, a black robe, so I'm like a Spectre type. It wasn't a Scream because, you know, this is 1993. Scream didn't happen yet.
Oh.
So, you know, Ghostface wasn't thought of. So I thought maybe it's a Grim Reaper type thing. I said, yeah, I can do this. This is not a problem. But the mask that I pulled out was a glow-in-the-dark, hard plastic, no cushion on the inside of the face, werewolf mask.
Sounds very uncomfortable.
And the thing about it is those 2 masks that you hung up in our bathroom for decoration. That's the design of the mask.
Oh.
So the face is still haunting me to this day. But they're not glow in the dark
I'm
though.
glad I could be helpful.
Yeah, every time I look in there, I think of that fateful night. So I said, okay, I will try to make this work. The glow in the dark part, there was a guy at the end of the maze, and he says, well, come over every now and then, and we will re-glow your face. Which consisted of him holding up a cigarette lighter in front of my face, and the glow messed around with my eyes. It was uncomfortable. I was like, oh, wow. This is not what I expected to be.
Not at
Who?
all.
What glow in the dark? What werewolf wears a robe?
What werewolf glows in the dark?
Well, I can understand that part in a sense, but what werewolf wears a robe? It's just like those costumes I've seen at Kmart of a gorilla wearing a robe, and they also had a werewolf mask, a different type, wearing a robe. Who and what gorilla do you know wears a robe? You know?
I don't know any.
So I made the best of it. I did my scare. I didn't really say anything. I just made an appearance, you know, popping out of the secret door and everything. And the crowd did get scared, you know. It was a spontaneous thing.
Spontaneous.
Yeah. Halfway through the night, though,
Yes.
the lady comes up and meets me and says, you having a good time? Everything going great? I said, yeah, everything's okay. I didn't want to tell her that I was, you know, I didn't like what I was doing. But she says, okay, we're going to pull you away from the maze, and we're going to put you in another area take your costume off and lay it down on the chair and come follow me. And you can, and we'll take, and you'll have a 5-minute break before we put you in the next area. Now going back to what they was saying, they was short on people, so they were Jim and Morrigan people around and stuff, and what voodoo they do. And
Monster Shuffle.
Yeah, the old Monster Shuffle. And the back porch is where the break area was, and there was like 2 other monsters there. I believe one was a zombie type character, and I can't remember the other one. They was really neat costumes and stuff, and I'm sitting there, it's like I hope they don't ask me what I was, because it's an embarrassment. I was like, well, I'm the glow in the dark werewolf with the robe on. But no,
Your initiation costume.
Yeah, my initiation costume. But yeah, I was sitting there and they had donuts and apple cider and everything, and I was talking to them. It's like, yeah, about Halloween and haunted attractions and whatnot. And then the lady come back and said, "Okay, Bill, we're gonna go down in the basement." And I was like, "Okay, basement? Wonder what I'm gonna be down there. I'm gonna be a glow in the dark vampire." So. We, nothing was said, well, she was asking me how I was, you enjoying yourself, of course, and all that. And I said, yeah, that's great. So we went down to the basement, and I walked into the room.
What was the room?
Well, the room, I looked around, and there was this big stove to the side. And there was this workbench. It was lit up, and it had tools and stuff on it. And then I looked, and I don't know why I didn't notice this first, but after, and I just, I panned the room. And then I looked, and there was, in the middle of the room, suspended by a rope, was this tricycle. Now, I couldn't figure out what the hell this was all about. Then the lady says, you know who Freddy Krueger is, don't you? I said, yeah, I'm familiar with him. He says, well, for the remaining of the night, you are going to be Freddy Krueger down here in the bullet room. And I said, sweet! Score! Woohoo! So I got to be Freddy Krueger for the remaining night. And they had the sweater, and they had the mask, and the hat, and one of those plastic, the gloves that you see at Halloween time, the flimsy little blades. But I made it work,
Trick-or-treat glove.
Yeah, the trick-or-treat glove. Never did the Freddy voice until that night.
Really?
I didn't know what I was going to do. And this is where ad-libbing fell into play. I knew of Freddy Krueger. I knew his voice, but I never did his voice. I didn't even know what I was going to say. But I came up with something. I'm your worst nightmare, and I want your children, and I just had to. In between scares, I had to come up with sayings because I wasn't Michael Myers, I wasn't Jason, I couldn't talk, or I could talk, but these guys couldn't talk. I had to talk, so I had to think of some shit. It worked out great. I grabbed a hold of the rope with the tricycle and I swung it around, and I just got into the character. I just kept remembering what Robert Englund did for the Freddy character. And then, 1 o'clock came around. It was over, and it's like that made up for the werewolf mask. So, thus was my very first A Star Was Born, in a sense. And who would have thought, many, many moons later, in 2001, I get hired
to play that Joker.
To play Freddy Krueger at another haunted attraction that I have been doing now for 10 years.
That's a lot of years.
That is a lot of slashing and talking like this, and that is a lot. And I've been doing Freddy ever since, and the crowd has been entertained, and I have had...
Yeah, you took him on the road.
Yeah, then I took him on the road. I had a lot of great comments out there at the Haunted Trail. It's been a fun ride. and it's been marvelous, you know. And where else in America? I'm sure that's out there, but that you can scare people and get paid for it. Only in America, right? Only in America. And then, of course, now we brought you on. You are on for this is your second year of your haunted attraction scaring type, and Scary Mary's second year, and your girls do cameos once in a while out there, and we all have a great time. I mean, haunted attractions are fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
The funnest part is when they pee their pants.
And we had people pee their pants out there.
Last night it was an employee after.
Yeah, actually, the night, the last season, a monster actually got scared by another monster, and
she has a fear of clowns, and there were 6 of them surrounding her and doing their clown laugh.
So answer me this question: why did a person that have a fear of clowns went over to the clown area?
We did the After Dark thing. We did the blackout thing, and a bunch of us, as people were coming through, as the employees were coming through our area, we collectively joined in and kept walking. And we got to the end of the trail, and we're like, well, we didn't see the first half of the trail, so let's go walk the first half of the trail. Well, you know what's at the first half of the trail, and that's the clown area. And we walk into the clown area, and it's all dark, and then all of a sudden, out pops half a dozen clowns, and she was terrified. And of course, you know, when somebody's terrified at a haunt, what do? You keep taunting them. So they did, and she peed her pants and went into hyperventilation.
Went into hyperventilation.
She did.
We had some kick-ass clowns out there.
We did.
The clowns are Freddy Krueger's neighbors. You had Freddy, and then Jeepers Creepers and the clowns, and that's the Twisted Circus. You had so many clowns running around there, it wasn't funny. I mean, all shapes and sizes, and they were scary as hell. And yeah, if you have a phobia of clowns, bring yourself out there, and yeah, you will pee your pants.
My area is in the middle of the attraction, and I can hear the clowns all the way over there.
The clowns they laugh, this loud laugh. I mean, yeah, you could be at the very end of the trail, and you could still, over the generators, hear these people laughing.
They definitely enjoy their job.
And like I said, if you don't like clowns, man, you're dead. You're dead in the water. You are dead in the water. Our good friend Rachel, she does not like clowns. So
what did we do when we had our Halloween party last year?
We brought we invited one of the clowns from the haunted trail to our party, and when Rachel got in, she came in the back way.
She came late.
Yeah, she came late. She got off of work, and she came in.
She was texting me and telling me she was coming, so he's like, okay, clown, get behind the door.
And he was in full clown makeup, and when she walked in the door, he didn't say anything. He just walked up behind her, and it was classic. She turned around, seen him, and she called him everything but a white man. And mission accomplished.
She made up with him after he took his outfit off.
Yeah. But she will never let that down. We'll never let that down.
I got it on video.
Yeah, she I think afterwards she called us everything but a white man too for orchestrating it. It was funny.
I, Georgie, am Pennywise the Dancing Clown. You are Georgie. So now we know each other. Correct?
I guess so. I gotta go.
Go? Without this?
Where can I go?
Exactly. Go on, kiddo. Take it. And there's cotton candy and rides and all sorts of surprises down here. And balloons, too. All colors.
Do they float?
Oh, yes. They float, Georgie. They float. me. You float down.
You know, the Haunted Trail after party is coming up, and I think I should dress up like a zombie clown. And that's kind of a character I was thinking about for future conventions, a zombie clown. I got to get more characters out there.
Hey, stay out of my zombie territory.
Oh, you think you own a patent on zombies, huh?
You got your other crap you can do. You stay out of my zombie shit.
Jeff Wickedbeard has Jason, Freddy, the Predator, all sorts. DJ Scott Trey, he's got Freddy. Some other demon type characters and evil clowns. I can't remember their names though. I got to do some more research. I gotta need some more characters too.
You can have all the characters you want, but you stay out of my zombie
I
territory.
want a zombie clown that I'll walk with you. I'll be a zombie clown.
You could be Yogi Bear.
I'm not Yogi Bear. This isn't Hanna-Barbera land we're going to. But I thought about, coming up with a zombie clown, and I may just do that for the after show party.
How about you make my day and you be either Jason or Michael Myers, and that way I don't have to listen to your lip.
Why I don't really want to be Michael Myers because I would kind of be stepping on Andrew Alexander's toes. He does a fantastic Michael Myers.
You missed the joke there.
Oh, I'm sorry. It went over my head, did it?
Yes, it did, because you missed the part where I said you would be one of the silent killers, and that way I wouldn't have to listen to your lip.
Oh, we got a funny diva here in the opening of our show.
That's right.
Too bad. I'm going to be a zombie clown.
No, you can't.
Yes, I will.
No, you can't.
Yes, I will.
No, you can't.
You watch me.
I will.
You watch me. But I think, I think I need to do Bub, the zombie
you do
from
make a good Bub,
from
'cause
Days.
I did record you sounding and looking like Bub and doing his character.
From Day of the Dead. Yeah,
But
Day
you
of the Dead.
You can't jump on my territory. You don't see me doing Fred.
Everybody, you don't own the copyrights to zombies.
In this house, I do.
Well, yeah, in this house, everywhere you can't spit without hitting a zombie around here.
I know.
But I think that's what I'll do. I'll just go ahead and we'll try to get Bub the zombie going. We'll see what we can do for that, for new characters, for new conventions, start of a new year, a new millennium, so to speak, for characters.
The times are a-changing.
That's right. Well, folks, I tell you what, I think that about wraps it up for this hour of the Nightmare Hour, our premiere. And we would like to thank all of our listeners out there. We hope to be entertaining you in the near future with more shows. Interesting topics are coming your way, and interviews, and more things that you could shake a stick at. So, just subscribe to... Yeah, it is time to go. It is time to go. But we will be back.
Yes, we
with
will.
more shows. Stay tuned to Facebook. Subscribe to my page on here, The Nightmareman. We will have shows posted here on YouTube. We'll post dates and times for our next show. We got other things cooking right now. Diva is going to be premiering her new show, a video. You're going to be able to watch. We're going to get that up and rolling, and just stay tuned. And we got more stuff, man, coming at you. We got a lot of things planned. A lot of things planned for our audience.
Yes, we do. We got some stuff cooking.
That is right. We do. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Diva of the Dead and myself, the Nightmare Man, thank you so much for joining us for the premiere of the Nightmare Hour. And we will see you again real soon. And remember, kiddies, keep on a slashing.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween.
It's almost time, kids. The clock is ticking. Be in front of your TV sets for the horror-thon. And remember the big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it. And don't forget to wear your masks. The clock is ticking. It's almost time.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.